Oh.
Seriously.
Where is it?
Right.
I don't know. I
That's
was
so
watching
sad.
something in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sad. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. We're your hosts. I've been really quiet this week, so yeah, apologize for that, guys. It's just been it's been a very painful week.
Yeah, I'm still sick.
So, anyways, here we are, and we're going to have some fun tonight because it is Saturday. And let me do this just before I forget, because you know what happens. We get all caught up in. And the first segment of this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Moscone-America.com. That's right, makers of the Pro line of amplifiers. If you're looking for first in class, best in class, amazing class in amplifiers, check out the Pro line. Two new amplifiers are out right now. We have the Pro 430, which Fernando is running his car, that has an AB and A. That's right, ABA. It's like Abacab, no C. 4-channel amplifier, 2 channels of A, 2 channels of AB. Uses slide technology to give you more output, as well as the new Pro 830 that has an 8 to 10 aerospace DSP built into it, along with dual staggered power. So you have 4 channels of low power and 4 channels of high power.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. You can find them at Moscone-America.com, or if you like more details, you can go to Gladen.com and dig deep into it.
Yep.
I will tell you this, there is one more Pro amplifier coming out here soon that is going to be gigantically awesome. And we'll leave it at that. Thank you for being a sponsor. What's up, guys?
What up?
Happy All-Star weekend. Hockey, All-Stars.
All-Stars hockey?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They do drills and shit, and then they have a game, and
oh, cool.
Yeah, we were watching it at dinner last night. What's up, all?
What up?
This is going to be better than the Daytona 500.
Oh, that's true. That one is too. Yes, one of my friends.
Probably raining there. I wonder if it's raining.
Yeah, they drove tonight to go. Yeah.
Howdy doody, Dean and Fernando. Tuning in from
Concord
or Oroville, California. Where'd you Concord? Oh, Concord. I'm back from Concord from a white glove pilot install. Ooh,
very nice.
Hope y'all too are well and chat too. Yeah, we're here. You know, it's just what it is. I'm here. The party can start.
There you go.
That's it.
Done.
Is this the episode? Yes, this is. Okay, so this is what happens when you're taking way too much cold medicine and you're trying to put together the shows and you have to get dates correct. It just doesn't happen, man. Doesn't happen. I apologize for any confusion that it caused.
Mm-hmm.
My bad. Fang. Still driving and listening. Thank you,
nice.
Frank.
Thank you.
Hey. I'm waiting. We're here. The wait is over.
The wait is over.
Hello today.
What's up?
All right. It's raining in Northern California.
Same
it is
here.
raining in Central Florida.
Yes.
That's what we're called, by the way.
We're called Central Florida.
Nando sick. He's not better. He's still coughing like the dead.
Unfortunately.
I just took really good medicine before we started the show, so I can fake it better than most.
Doesn't matter.
You know. But I do have my out-of-camera box of tissues, and I had to go buy tissues with lotion, which I absolutely hate. But after going through 5 rolls of toilet paper, my nose feels like it's just been sandblasted. So
irritated.
It almost makes me cry when I have to wipe.
Yeah.
The show was way better yesterday. Yeah, hola, amigos.
What up?
When running 100 watts RMS, 3 components active, do I need to put my phone in silent? Did you flick the little switch on the side?
No, that's the F-150. Give me a second.
Yeah. Go do your thing. Yeah. Do I need an amp that supports 100 watts per speaker? Okay, so when running 100 watt RMS components active, do I need an amp that supports 100 watts per speaker? No, you really don't. Okay, so keep in mind the RMS rating and the output of the amplifier are really good to show people that like don't necessarily do this for a living, or don't have a really good understanding of it, like, hey, if I buy a 50-watt amp and I have a 50-watt speaker, these two will play together and I won't have to have any problems. Yeah, for sure. But power output and power handling aren't the end all be all for everything. And I know some people go like, what's he talking about? So for example, if you're going to do an active, you have three components active. So I'm guessing tweet, mid bass, and let's say all together they have 150 watt power handling. A lot of that power handling comes down to the crossover, meaning the crossover is only going to handle, like, that's why you don't see like passive crossovers with 300 watts of power handling. Now, when you're going to go buy a 6-channel amplifier, are you going to buy a 6x100? I mean, you could, but that's probably a bit of overkill. Like a 6x50 would be probably fabulous for what you're trying to do. An 8-channel would be better because then you could run 50-50 and bridge them and get 100, because the mid bass is always going to want more power than the mid range and the tweeter. But the RMS is there so that you have an idea of what you're trying to do. But no, that doesn't all of a sudden mean that if you're going to buy a 2x100 watt amplifier, now you need a 6x100 watt amplifier. You're not going to need to do that. You're still going to need small amount of power in this case. Thoughts on Michael Myers intro? Is there a Michael Myers intro? What are we talking about? Halloween? Haven't seen the movie. I don't do scary movies, man. Football got over just in time for NASCAR. Basketball. I've been to one basketball game. I got to see LeBron James. I figured it was like, get it off the list. I noticed the car audio shops are starting to offer tire service. Do you think that most car audios will offer tire service in the near future, like how window tinting started with car audio? No. So there's this push to go outside of your four walls, so to speak. Where can we make extra money? What can we diversify into? Places like Titan up in Tennessee, they do a great job of this, where car stereo is just a very small portion of their business. Now, wheels and tires are nothing new, because for years car stereo shops would do wheels and tires because you just order them and they'd come balanced and all that other fun stuff, and you just slap them on the car. If you have a market for it, then you could probably do pretty well at it, but not every place is going to have a market for it. Like for us, for example, where we're at, right across the street, we have a Tires Plus. And then right past that, we have this place called S&M Truck World, where they do wheels and tires and trucks. So, and then that way we have a Pep Boys that has a full service area. So like within a mile of us, there's 3 places that do tires. There's no reason for us to do tires. And there's 100 yards. There's a truck that's a 4-wheel drive upfitter. So like rock lights and all that other stuff, they do all that. So there's really, and they're actually good. We share business together. So when they have somebody that wants audio, they send them to us. When we have somebody that wants that, we send them there. So, but if you're in an area where, because like, for example, one of the, what is the name of the, can't think of, there's a multi-store chain up north that they have 11 stores. One of the stores does wheels and tires, and that's it. The other 10 don't. And the reason for that is where that 11th store is at, you can't sell anything without selling wheels and tires. So, because the guys will come in and they'll be like, hey, I want wheels and tires and a stereo. And you're like, okay, cool. So, the problem is a lot of these 12-volt guys will get into things that they shouldn't get into. And that's how they go out of business, is trying to do stuff that really is not their thing. Now, if I'm a firm believer that if you're going to do something, you have to do it and be intelligent about it. We don't do motorcycles because we really don't have a good way to get them into the store and then a good place to store them. So it's not safe as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want to dump some guy's, $30,000 Harley and scratch the crap out of it. That would ruin my day. So, but yeah, if you have the right tools and the right guy, why not? It's just like tin. It's high time an amplifier was built and bass restoration was brought back into the market. Stay tuned. I mean, just know that. I mean, the Epicenter, the patent on the Epicenter expired. I can tell you that. So, DSP assigns front and rear RCA inputs to subwoofer channel, then front RCA to front and rear RCA to rear. I have fade dialed in. Any benefit to linking both RCA inputs to all channels? No, I don't. I don't like them. I like all my channels independent. DSP assigns front and rear RCA inputs to subwoofer channel. Okay, so the reason why I don't like this idea. So if I have 6 channels of it, so it's like if I'm looking at an audio control, I have 6 channels of input, and I only have 4 channels of output where I come into 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And so if I want non-fade on my subwoofer, then it makes sense to go into the software and tell it to use inputs 1 and 2 for subwoofer. And then if I fade front, I keep it. If I fade rear, I keep it. But nobody ever fades. The problem you run into at that point is, depending on how the software is set up, especially on the audio control, you have your input gain. And there's really no output gain, or no really good output gain on like an audio control. So what you run into is that if you turn up the front, or you want more out of the sub, you're real limited on some of the adjustments you can do. My thought, or what I like to do, especially if I'm doing high level, is I'm going to Y off the fronts into the sub externally. So I'm going to run all 6 inputs in to it so that I can have my level controls accessible independently. I like that. Hey guys, I could really use some help. I have a 22 F-150 Lightning with 8-speaker B&O. I'm trying to add an aftermarket subwoofer and amp. Okay, simple enough for the most part. First step is to figure out what size motor you have. That's important because you need to know if it has the fake engine noise or not. If it doesn't, you're fantastic. What you want to do is tap off of the front door speakers. If all you're trying to do is add a sub amp, tap off of one of the front door speakers or both of the front door speakers. I really don't care. But that's where you're going to want to tap into for your sub amp, is off of the front doors. You're rocking and rolling. The reason why you have to find out if it has fake engine noise or not, if you don't get that deactivated, then your subwoofer will go crazy and it will sound terrible. So that's about it. I mean, it's not that big of. It's actually a pretty straightforward installation. The other thing too that you want to keep in mind is that that is an aluminum car. We do strongly recommend running a power and ground to the battery. Strongly. Yo, what's going on, Lance?
The boss.
Cajun Carl from Louisiana. What's up? It's Christian.
Hey.
Big difference. 84 yesterday. Now it's raining at 59.
No
but
care.
pollen will be washed away.
Yeah.
Do you know what's wrong with Christian?
What happened with
I don't know. He just had some surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, they didn't take his brain out or anything, but he had a day off to play with his car. I know that.
Hey.
Carl, I'm from Louisiana too. What part? I'm from Baton Rouge. Just working on the West Coast at the moment. Look at that.
Nice.
These guys just, man, that's so
Everybody's
cool.
better friendly.
No, it was supposed to say in this episode. Yeah, my bad. It happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Want to add an LC5. Okay, hang on. I got to do something because this is driving me crazy. All right, there we go. All right, I feel better now. Okay, sorry. That was driving me nuts. I want to add an LC5 1300 to my non-amplified F-150 2022. Can I get high-level direct to amp, or do I need the blue LGDs? Also, do you recommend 2 key locks, 4-scan, or get a flat EQ, or both? Okay, so you have an LC5 1300. You're going to need 2 LGD greens, a pair. So you're going to need a pair of the LGD greens, not the blues. I do not recommend the key lock. I do not recommend 4-scan, and I do not recommend get a flat EQ. So here's the deal. Right now, the truck has an EQ curve set on there to make it sound the best that it can with what you're doing. If you add a key lock, or if you 4-scan out the EQ, or you do whatever to get flat EQ, your system is going to sound like ass because you've just removed all the equalization that was there. Flat does not sound good at all, ever. It never has. Okay, it's very boring. Nothing is flat. The EQ that was done from the factory was there to take care of some of the problems that the car has. And those problems will still be there even after you put an amplifier and your speakers in there. The fact that you're not adding another EQ means leave the factory EQ alone and let it do its thing so that at least you have something there to help. Otherwise, it's just going to suck big time. So as much as we all sit there, or they all, someone says, oh, you got to get it flat. Yes, you do have to get it flat, or you have to re-EQ it if you have an EQ. If you don't have an EQ, leave it alone. Let whatever's there do its thing. So, but you do need the LGD greens. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward, get a T-harness. Both PAC and Metro Online make T-harnesses for that. It'll plug right in, make life super easy. We just took a look at those the other day, last week. So you check that out if you want to see what a T-harness looks like. But yeah, you'll have fun. It'll be loud. But don't get rid of the factory EQ. That'd be bad. You don't have to. I just answered that, so we can turn that off. The flu ran through my 4 boys and wife. Hope you're getting better soon. Yeah, it sucks. Because tweeters never get full power. Yes. Tweeters always get full power. That's the thing. They always get full power.
5,000 watts on the tweeters.
They always are at the maximum amount of power that they can get. Oh, look at that. I worked for Sound Advice in Orlando 1,000 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Been to that one. That was
in Orlando?
Yeah, of course. Been to all of them, man.
All of them. Wow.
Evening, Fro. What is
up?
happening? Yeah. Glad I'm not the only one who loves amplifiers. Who doesn't love amplifiers, man? I'm a big fan. I think we need lots of amplifiers.
Yeah.
I get a good subwoofer signal from a 22 Lightning with BO. Factory sub output levels, and sucks. Front door with key lock, lack deep bass. Yeah. I know. Yeah. If you really want to solve the problem, I mean, the problem is that the factory subwoofer doesn't really have good output. Because it's not really a subwoofer per se. It just kind of jiggles in the back and doesn't do much. And then the front doors kind of suck because they're the deepest thing you can play that actually puts out bass. So they both kind of suck. The simple solution for the 22 Lightning is to either, here's your choices. This is it. You're integrating into a factory amplified stereo. Both options suck. So you either need to just go full crazy, meaning get rid of the BO system and put the Amp Pro in there, BO Amp Pro, and put all new amplifiers in it and DSP it and call it a day. Or you have to live with what you got. I mean, you can't shine it any other way because you would need in order to fix the problem that you're talking about is you'd have to be able to sum the front doors and the subwoofer into the same channels and fix the issues between the two before they get to the sub. So you could do it. So what you need is a 4-channel DSP. Okay, so you could take 2 channels from the front doors and the sub, bring them in, look at them, analyze them, fix them. So you're going to need a pretty advanced DSP, so probably like a Moscone Atomo 4-channel, 4 to 6. And then you could output that to the sub amp. Okay, but that would allow you to go in and fix the signal. And yeah, that would work. Yeah, that would be the easiest way to do that. You know, take like an Atomo 4 to 6 and run the fronts in, run the sub in, correct all of the nonsense that's there, and then add some EQ to it, and out you go to the sub amp. Yeah, that would solve the problem. I mean, that would be the only way to do it without replacing everything. Not a bad idea. It's going to be expensive, but I mean, who cares, right? Because it's cheaper than buying all new equipment for the car, because that's going to be costly. But that's the problem, is that you need something to bring in the best of both of those, right? And to do that, we have to sum, and then in order to sum, we have to fix any of the operations. Now, the things you can't fix for are like roll off or high pass filtering. Those will always be there. So that's why it just makes more sense just to do away with the BO altogether and get a new amps. I mean, you can re-amplify the factory stuff. You could go with something as simple as, once you get the BO adapter, you get an 8-channel amplifier with DSP. You don't have to go crazy.
Right.
You just need something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Pete's Dave in the house. What's up? Oh, sorry. Add an amp pro to a Challenger and it sounds like crap. I tried configuration. But I think the factory EQ is still active because it's not even sounding. So when you added the amp pro, so the factory EQ has to go away, because it does. When it resets itself, there is no factory EQ anymore. The problem, so here's a problem. Here's a multitude. Tonight is I'm sensing a theme. Okay. I really am. Integration is tonight's theme, and some of the pitfalls of integration. So there could be a reason why it sounds like crap, and let me explain. So kind of back to when we were talking, I don't know if you got the guy with the F-150, but a lot of this is going to be the same conversation. So if we take an amp pro, here's where this gets fun. So we take an amp pro and we put it in. Now, if we have an amplified system, the amp pro will just strip off a left and right signal from the radio. That left and right signal has no EQ because the EQ is actually in the amplifier, okay? So it is perfectly flat. Now, when we reset the radio and we let it do its programming, what that does is it reflashes the radio. It takes the 2-channel audio that now comes out of the rear outputs of the radio, which is perfectly flat, and puts that out. Okay, problem being is that the factory EQ is now gone. It is not there. If you want to test for that, you could use an electrical RTA, the tool we sell, the IRTA2. This is one of the uses for it, is to plug it into the output of something and see what is actually coming out of it. That's why you use an electrical RTA. You can also, if you have some DSPs, they'll have electrical RTAs built in. Anyways, the point is now you have a perfectly flat signal coming out into your amplifiers. Guess what? It was never made for you to not re-EQ it. It's flat. It has no characteristics. It's going to be boring. It's not going to sound good. Sounds like crap. Yeah, it's going to, because you need to re-EQ it. So now what you're relying on is that the speakers you bought hopefully sound good with a flat signal going to them, and whatever characteristics they had will shine through. And if they're not, then yeah, you're gonna need a DSP. So when we do Chryslers, anytime we could use a DSR1, we use a DSR1, guys. Anytime we can use, if we don't want to use Rockford, we can go ARC PSM Pro. But either way, we always want to use a DSP, because as soon as we go Amp Pro, we are stripping the DSP from the car. And if you had something like an Alpine system in there and you just went perfectly flat, it's not going to sound that good. It's going to be kind of boring, right? So like a Sub Pro is cool because it just gives, it's going to eliminate all the bad stuff like the bass roll off and the active equalization, high pass filtering. All that gets removed from the subwoofer. So the subwoofer sounds great most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
I've had guys complain like, oh, on the F-150, it just doesn't have. It's like, well, okay, because it needs an EQ. So yeah, Amp Pro. So the easiest solution to this would be add some kind of DSP. I mean, at that point, you just buy, a Rockford DSR1 and do it that way. But yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This tonight is going to definitely be a tough one. So, and it's not your fault. It's, I feel like a lot of this.
Somebody?
No, I feel like a lot of this gets lost in communication because it's like,
yes,
we want a preamp section, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole goal in all of this is to add a preamp section.
Well, most of the time they tell you, like we need this device or this interface to flat that out.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, okay, so flat is good. And it is.
Well, it's but it's the starting point. Mm-hmm. So, one of the things that we look at, first off, let's say Mike. So
no trouble.
Mike's car, this is Chrysler 300. Okay.
Yep,
so Mike, which you guys will get to see here soon. Mike has a Chrysler 300, which we've seen already because he had the ones. Now he has the pros. He's got a Pro 810 in there now, Aerospace 8 to 10. But for a preamp, he had an Amp Pro, okay? And he hated it. So he took out the Amp Pro because I was like, just put a PSM Pro and do AR. He was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So he's actually using the PSM Pro as a preamp. He was using that originally for the 1 Series as a preamp. The nice thing is you have this full DSP as a preamp. Okay, so he has 2 options. You can go 8 channels out, or you can go, and if there's, he can go into, so he has 2 DSPs at the front end side of this is basically what I'm getting at. But anytime you're going to remove and get a flat signal, you have to re-EQ it, okay? Yeah. And I feel like that conversation is assumed, but it shouldn't be. And that that could be my fault because I'm we always say just get an Amp Pro, and we might not. I guess we need to have the next part of that conversation, which is
right.
We all want this RCA.
Get an Amp Pro, but also
you need something to EQ it.
To re-EQ it.
Yeah. So.
For sure.
Anyways, hey, this next section is speaking of EQ, this next section is brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Control, the makers of some of the funnest EQs to play with. That's right. But we're not going to talk about that today. What we're going to talk about is preloaded enclosures. That's right. They're starting to ship. We've been talking about them now for the last couple of weeks, but they're shipping. So if you're looking for a preloaded enclosure, you can pick up your favorite Audio Control subwoofer in a box, all set and ready to go. With the grill, with the carpet, looking all snazzy, with the vinyl, with the wrap, with the stitching. It looks fantastic. If my Mustang stock sub has 4 wires, all 4 go to the LC2i Pro to add aftermarket amp and sub. Any reason to leave the stock sub live on? Thanks. Any reason to leave the stock sub on? Yeah, because it's at the front door, and it probably sounds really good up there. I would. I've never disconnected the factory subs on a Mustang, especially the front ones. God no, I would keep those things running. why would keep them going? I mean, that's really your front mid bass. So if you lose it, it's going to sound really hollow up front, even with adding that big sub in the back. So.
Okay.
Hi guys. Looking to change door speakers in a 2021 F-150 PO. Oh my God, it's a third one. Does high-res audio amp and speakers really make a difference in sound quality? Excellent X401, Alpine R6x9 components and coaxials and rear. So in this case, no. Because you have a BO F-150, so you're going to be using some form of BO adapter, which we've been talking about this whole show, by the way. So, you're going to run into the same problem that everyone else is running into if you're gonna add in a BO interface to get RC outputs, and then you're not going to DSP it, and then you're going to be like, what the hell? So. But no, to answer your question directly, the BO interface that you're probably going to use, and or even if you went high level, does not have the frequency response for you to get any benefit of high res component amplifiers or speakers, because neither one of the components you're going to put in the front side of those amplifiers has the resolution. So no. In that situation, you will not benefit at all from anything that says high res. It's not going to hurt it, but it's not like, it's kind of like saying you have a 200 watt 6x9 with 25 watts going to it. You have a 25 watt 6x9 at this point. So if you buy that, what's up, Danny? Okay, hope that made sense.
Yeah.
I have not heard Frank. Have I heard Frank? I don't even know. Who's Frank? Says, Dean, you've heard the Frank, right?
Frack.
Oh, I don't know why I'm saying Frank.
Well, it's close.
Frack. Have I heard the Frack? Yeah, yes. I've heard the Frack and the Bronco.
Yeah. What do you think?
I haven't got to hear them yet. I still think they're loud as hell.
Oh, they're beautiful.
You like them?
Oh, I love them.
Okay, there you
go. Yeah.
That's the Frank. I'm like, who's the Frank? We should call him the Frank from now on, though.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, Fakes. I'm batting 100% on confusing Dean tonight. Thanks. It's trust me. It's not like it'll be hard. Total harmonic distortion is still an important factor when choosing an amplifier. Not as important as you would think. No, just buy a good quality amplifier, man. Something that costs more than $200. Personally, I think the most important thing on an amplifier is, will it work in my car? I think that's the biggest thing. It's like when you're looking at a car and you go, oh, I should buy a 2000 watt amplifier, which some of you guys out there that love your 2000 watt amps, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you don't need one, then don't buy one, because more than likely the car you're in cannot power it adequately. On pickup truck backup cameras. Oh, good, a camera one. Do you find the license plate versus the handle type is one better than the other? I've been told handle types don't last as long as the license plate types. I can tell you they last about the same. It's more or less the same camera in both. I don't think either one of them, as far as longevity goes, neither position dictates that. The only difference between a handle cam and a tag cam is whether or not you drive with your tailgate down. Okay, so follow this logic. If you drive your tailgate down, okay, your camera is now facing the concrete, so you can't actually back up with it. If you drive with your tailgate down and you have a license plate camera, it's still facing back. Life is good.
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing about the handle cam as opposed to the license plate cam is that it does give you an extra 2 feet of downward angle. So when you're backing up to a hitch, you do have more area to look at, as opposed to the license plate cam usually right at hitch. So, I mean, the ball comes in and it's like this big thing in the, so We primarily do tag cams, and most of our backup guys like the tag cam because it's like it fills up the whole image as they're backing up. So it's like, yeah, I got this. But there again, every now and then we'll get the old guy. It is the old guy that'll come in and say, I don't want the handle cam. And I'll be like, okay. So, but those are the only advantages and disadvantages of them.
There you go.
El Fuego, thank you for the $5. In your opinion, is the audio control DSP software the easiest to use in the industry? If not, what would you recommend? I got to tell you, it is definitely one of the easiest to use, if not the easiest to use. Like, input setup is simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, overall,
It is.
It is. Even the Chinese software, a lot of people, which is what a lot of guys use, universal software like Alpine and all those guys all use a layer of the JBL uses it. I think Museway uses it. A lot of guys use this. It's good software and it's fairly easy to use, but I think where a lot of people get hung up was on the input output because you have to put in like percentages and stuff. And as soon as you have to put like 50% or 20%, people like lose their minds. So definitely audio control is still one of the easiest to use for sure.
It's not Sean.
It's Sean from Cicada Audio in Arizona. Continue the awesome work.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
That's right.
Say hi to Marty. By that, I mean smack him in the back of the head.
Wow.
I mean, you have to.
Wow.
And then you kiss him on the cheek.
Okay.
I don't know. Why not, right? He's scruffy. Scruffy looking nerf herder. Hold on, let me scroll down here. Okay, sorry. I just want to get it caught up. I have a Pioneer. I've tried both brake bypasses. Neither work. Any ideas on how? Why would you even put that up? I have no freaking idea, man. No, I have no idea. I've tried both brake bypasses. So if it's got a GPS antenna, it's not the brake bypass is still going to be the 10 seconds here, 10 seconds here.
10 seconds and then jump.
And if you're not using a stopwatch, it'll never work. Right. But I mean, I feel like all of them that we've done in the last have always worked. Asymmetric power output and Moscone Pro amps. I wish I had an answer for that.
Asymmetric?
I honestly have no idea.
Oh, let's ask fucking
wow,
yeah,
dude.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Let's ask
clean it up a little bit over there.
Yeah.
Or Nick. I'll get an answer for you for that one. I don't have the answer, so
that's young.
Oh, Dodge. Oh, wow. Yeah. Handle cams also get slammed a lot.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but see, a lot of new trucks, have the so smack Marty. There you go. Right?
Don't
yeah. The latest audio control GUI is great. It is great. It's fabulous. But there again, the GUI the GUI didn't change much. It just got cleaned up a lot. So using it is still easy to do, which is fantastic. I feel like that was the whole, when they came up with it, that was the idea, was to make it as simple as possible for people to get up and running. Hello, guys. What's your opinion of Fosgate PPS 4-6 for Bronco kicks or panels? Or something similar.
What's PPS for?
I have no idea. I wonder if that's their Power Sports. That's got to be the Power Sports.
PPS4? Oh, that's a big mid-range.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think this is going to fit. Maybe.
No, it'll fit.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just going to be loud.
It's loud, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have no mid. Those don't make any mid bass. That's just a loudspeaker. So, and they don't move much. So,
right. I
mean, if you just want to be yelled at, it will yell at you. Like you could probably put that there and put the matching tweeter up in the top of the dash because it's a 4-inch. So you could probably get the large one of those tweeters and put it up top, and everyone would hear you coming
Perfect.
for miles away. Chasing track pop noise sounds like turn on pop, but only happens when I change tracks on my flash drive. Never ran into this before. Believe the head unit is the issue. Any thoughts? Yeah, I would believe it's probably the head unit too. This is one of those things that a lot of radios could possibly have, and we would never know because most people don't listen to thumb drive or like pre. I know you're the guy. So, but yeah, most people don't do that anymore because everyone streams.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of radios could have this. The thought would be any time in the so I'm just going to give you the generic answer from the past. Anytime anyone would have any issues, they would always say the same things: put fewer tracks and smaller drives. So I don't know what size you're using. Try fewer tracks, smaller drives. See if that helps. If it probably won't. I'm not gonna lie, it probably won't. But I don't know. Better just switch back to your phone. But you probably have a bunch of tracks that you can't get anymore. And yeah, Nakamichi is still around. A company called Nakamichi is still around. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
They still making stuff.
And they love Fernando. They do. Those guys love you, man. The tall dude, man, he's your
Neil.
buddy. Yeah, Neil's your buddy, bro.
Neil is good. Neil is great.
Is Audio Bound still around?
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I would love to have.
Oh, an Audio Bound?
Yeah.
Oh, they were so
first amplifiers, man.
Oh, jeez. No, they're not around anymore. The last thing that they did was a drug bust. Where they were doing some stupid stuff, and
they were the best amplifiers ever.
They were the best amplifiers ever. That was fantastical. Real quick,
okay.
If you have a vehicle and you're like, man, I just want to put some new speakers in it, and you'd like to keep it simple, what you want to do is try the new Focal Inside line of speakers. You can find them at focal-america.com, or just type in Focal Inside. Click on your make, model, and year of the vehicle you have and see if they make speakers for you. They make them for Toyota. They make them for Fords. They make them for Teslas, BMWs, Mercedes, Volkswagens, and a handful of others. We love using them here because they come fully complete and ready to go and bolt right in and sound fantastic, and you're up and running in no time. Yeah, so check them out at focal-america.com, Focal Inside. I could say something neat after that, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I use USB and SD cards. My radio has a beep option for making changes, maybe a setting to get rid of the popping sound. I have never seen a setting to get rid of a popping sound. I mean, because who would want to pop? Pop on, pop off? Nobody want that.
Pop.
Oh, 2008 CTS 10 speaker Bose. No highs, no lows. Must be Bose. Seems like it's one of the hardest to integrate aftermarket amps too. No pack, and only seems to be an AX DSP option. All right, so if it's a 2008 CTS with 10 speaker stereo, it's built on the same platform as the Camaro. And the reason why there's nothing for it is because, believe it or not, back in 2008, 2009, that was a variable voltage output, meaning it was just RCAs into the factory amplifier, just it was wired. So what you might want to do is test to see if yours, in fact, is variable voltage. How do you do that? Well, first off, you got to go back to the factory amplifier, digital multimeter, and you're going to have to do some like legwork, okay? Because it's not like it's just going to be like, test these two wires. So if you're not down for doing that, I totally understand. But what you want to do is use a digital multimeter to test the voltage output. So once you figure out what is, you can do it behind the radio too, but the radio is just a pain in the butt to get out. So you're going to want to figure out what is front left, front right, signals coming from the radio. So by process of elimination, you can eliminate all the outputs. The inputs are going to be on one plug all by themselves. And once you've figured out what is left front, left rear, you might be able to find somebody that's posted the colors online. Play a song, pink noise, play some pink noise, and then put your RCAs in, and it should be at a fixed volume. And when you turn the volume down, just go down. Turn the volume up, it should go up. If that is, you're done. Solder on some RCAs. Call it a day. But that's what we did in the Camaro. It was super cool. So what?
Sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay. For 2013 Corvette Coupe with Bose, what is the best way to upgrade the head unit? Retain factory amp? Rip everything out and start from scratch? I can tell you right now, most of the time we do those, all we do is replace the radio and retain everything else. Most of the guys just want to update feature set. They're not necessarily concerned with like making it louder or boomier, or nobody wants to enter competitions.
It's not a competition.
I don't know, but most of the time we're just replacing the source unit of those. Every now and then we'll get somebody that wants to go like full crazy on it. Most don't though. Most of the New Balance guys don't want to do that. So we just, we get them their new radio. We add them a backup camera. Sometimes we add them a front camera, and
maybe a sub.
Sometimes a sub. Yeah, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. Nobody goes too crazy on those cars.
But if you want to go crazy,
I would be more than happy to go crazy, man. Let's rip that bitch out and go nuts.
Oh wow, see.
I mean, that's different. I'm trying to fit Morel 3.5 mid-range at the dash rear location of a 2021 Toyota 4Runner. What do you recommend I do to the grill to let sound through, since the tweeter hole is pretty small? Yeah.
3D print a new grill.
I was gonna say 3D print a new grill, laser a new grill. Yeah. You can't sit there and drill it out because it'll look like crap. You could sand it and repaint it. You could probably do that, because what's going to happen is you're going to burr every time you try to drill through it, and so then you'd have to get all the burrs off. So you'd have to probably sand it quite a bit, and then and then you could repaint it. Use some SEM color dye to maybe that's a tough one. But yeah, basically you're gonna need a new grill. Maybe order a set from the factory and cut them and cover them in grill cloth. Anything's possible. I mean, I wouldn't mount the speaker from the top, but some people have done that. If you have a laser, you could make a new panel and body work it in. That would be cool. I'm a bit on the fence on which DSP to go with. What do you recommend? Audio Control, Hertz, or JL, or Audison? So a couple things there. So if we're looking at standalone DSPs, Audio Control has standalone DSPs. As we've said in the show many times, it's one of the easiest ones to use. So that's an advantage. Finding one right now is going to be difficult because I know they're out of inventory, but it's super easy to use. The Hertz and the Audison standalone DSPs, they really don't offer the modern technology in their standalone DSPs. So Audison is only has DSP, their modern DSP, available in the Forza amplifiers, and Hertz is always a couple generations behind. But the Hertz H8 DSP is still old technology, and the Audison Nove and the big one, those are all old technology. JL Audio, on the other hand, is kept up pretty well, but depending on what you need, the biggest is an 8, so you have 8 in, 8 out, and it's split in two, so you have your tune and your tweak. The tweak is the tune. Sorry, oh, it is the tweak. The tweak is
the fix is the other.
The fix and the tweak. Sorry, yeah. So, it's a tough one because most of the most of these guys have added DSPs in the amplifiers, and that's the better way to go. So standalone DSPs. You may want to look at there again. If you want to do a standalone DSP, you might want to look at a Helix and or a Moscone Aerospace, possibly an Arc Audio, but I don't know how many channels you need. So that's the other thing. Now, discount wise, small DSPs, like if you only need like a 6 to 8, PSM Pro makes a really nice 6 to 8. It's very affordable. So that's an Arc Audio as well. Hi, brother.
Hey.
Mike in London here. Guys, what's the best crossover frequencies for a set of 4-channel amplifiers powering a set of front focal
165
A's and rear channel bridge to power a single MTX subwoofer? I would do 80 hertz high pass, low pass, 12 dB, 80 high, 80 low. Keep it simple. Yeah, that would sound wonderful. I mean, that's where we would start. So that's what we would do. Just be 80 high low and call it a day.
Perfect.
See what happens. Is there a new Kicker 200.4 coming out? They have been marked down everywhere recently. No, I think they just finally got all their orders filled, and a lot of people may have had them, but no, they're not changing the 200.4 anytime soon. So if somebody's having a sale on them, it's probably because they have too many of them. Yeah, which is weird because there for a while you couldn't get them. So very, very strange. And or somebody had a bunch of them and they no longer sell them anymore, and now they're dumping them. That sucks. It's a possibility, though. Hey, Dean, you get a chance to hear the Rolls Royce, or was it a Bentley at Knowledge Fest? What gear was in it? No. I don't really... I know which one you're talking about. Wasn't that the Blopunk? Wasn't that the Blopunk booth?
I don't know.
I want to say that was in the Blopunk booth.
I didn't know that was a Rolls Royce.
There was.
Really?
Yeah. It's been there before. Yeah.
Really?
It's a Rolls Royce. That's why it's in the booth. I don't think it's decked out in any fashion that would be like, like
come and listen to Rolls.
Yes, come and listen. Nobody was going, oh my God, have you heard the Rolls? No. So I think it was just one of those things. Okay. Marty said.
Why?
I heard my name mentioned. You did. Yeah, you did. It was all for the good, though. It was all for the good. Not really.
Careful.
The question of the night. Epicenter, before DMA10, if you're trying to time a line other than after DTM, then use amplifiers crossovers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We've said it like a million times. Yep. And hi, fellas. And you can still do time alignment through it if you want. I mean, it's whatever works for you. Yeah. Are Diamore amps like Fosgate Prime amps or better? No, I can tell you they are not.
They are Diamore amplifiers.
They are Diamore amplifiers, and Rockford Prime amps are Prime amps. They have nothing to do with one another at all. Yep. And as far as like which one is better, couldn't tell you. Both of them will say, oh, mine is better than his, but I have no idea. But as far as they are not similar in any way, shape, or form, other than they're both amplifiers. So buy the one you feel like supporting. The MVI 808 can be used as 12-channel DSP using the RCA, thus the amplified out. Yeah, well, yes, and most amplifiers can. So, I mean, that's the idea. That's why when I made the statement earlier that a lot of amplifier manufacturers have gone to DSPs internally. So, for example, like this is the same thing. This is an 8-channel amplifier with 12 channels of DSP. It has 4 outputs, very similar to what JL Audio does. And this is an 8 to 10. So this has 8 channels with 2 channels. Actually, that's a 6 to 10. So that has 6 channels of power and 4 channels of output. They do make an 8 to 10 that has 8 channels of power and 2 channels of output. Audison has the Forza line, which is packed full of amplifiers. Helix has the same thing. They now have what is it, a 20 channel? Do they have the 20 channel?
They have a 20 channel, yeah.
Is it 24? Yeah, something ridiculous.
20 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it
Correct.
takes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and even Audison came out with what I think is probably one of the coolest amplifiers this year, which is a 1,000-watt mono block with a 5-channel DSP built into it.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, it's a DSP for the sub side, which is what pretty much everybody needs now, is a DSP built into their sub amp, which sucks because Kicker did it 8 years ago with the Q Class 1001 Q Class. Like, it had a DSP built into it, and we all thought they were crazy. Turns out they weren't. They were just way too early. But anyways, the new Forza is a mono block that has a sub DSP, and then it has 4 RC outputs to go off to other amplifiers. So basically, if you're just going to buy it for one of these wonderful BO installs and it's going to suck because you need to re-EQ the subwoofer, great. You could do that now. And also it has 4 other channel outputs if you ever wanted to do anything there, which is fantastic as well. But building a DSP into a sub amp is fantastic. I really hope that other people take notice of this and go, maybe we should start doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I doubt they will because they would have already had to have started by now. But hey, you know, one could hope. Probably not, because no one's thinking of it.
No.
I need a 24-channel DSP.
It's coming.
Yeah, they'll be here.
Yeah, it's coming, believe me.
I thought it had 6 outputs. I could be wrong. I think it has 2. I don't know. It's according to what I looked at, there was just the 4 outputs, but whatever. I don't know. You could be right, Fro. Who knows? I don't care. It's a sub amp with a DSP. So, and they haven't released like any solid pictures of it or anything that I've seen either. So I don't even think we're supposed to be talking about it, but I don't care. It was on the table, so I'm going to do it.
All right.
All right. Yep. What do you got? Which Morel, the AccuFlex coated tweeter and mids, are the signature Morel sound and worth every penny? So I'm going to say hybrid and up. Anything hybrid and up is going to be your like wow. The Virtus are the first ones made in Israel, and the Virtus Carbon Nanos, which are the thin ones, actually outperform the Virtus. So if you need a shallow speaker, the Virtus Carbon Nanos are legit the baddest bitch on the block for that. But if I'm going to really want to show somebody what a Morel is, I'm going to start at a hybrid. The Elate is like whoa, but the hybrid is where you want to start. Hang on. A 2023 Silverado with new bows. I'm getting the audio control D4.800 and the else with an Epicenter. Do I need LGD 60s to my? Okay, so no, you're gonna need the LGD greens, those are you're gonna need the greens for the Chevy. The other thing you're going to run into is, are you just going to be doing the fronts in this one? Because that's a 7-channel system. And it is full active. So you have 6 inputs on the D4.800, which means you're going to have to sum those inputs. And yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to do with that situation. So,
yeah,
because that, you're going to need some help on that one for sure. Because that's got a lot of all pass filters in it that you got to get rid of.
Exactly.
So,
Morel Lake Carbon Plus over everything. Don't settle.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that's going to be a tough install for sure. You might want to go with the D6 1200. That would save you the headache. So, because you don't have front rear sub, you have front mid bass, rear, then sub. So, how do you guys set amplifier frequencies accurately, or do you just eyeball it? No, we don't eyeball shit. We got all the tools in the world, man. We have every tool that you could possibly. I got 10 different RTAs. I have every Steve Meade device on the face of the earth. I have more voltmeters than I know what to do with. I got oscilloscopes for days. No, we don't eyeball shit.
And now with the new DSPs and everything, I mean, everything sets at the
no,
DSP.
but we have tools for everything. We have tools for tools. We have tools in case tools break. Because I don't like to be. I'm we're never down. So there's always a redundancy.
Man down. Grab the other one. Done.
Dean eyeballs everything, even wiring. That's why I came out with the wire ruler, so I didn't have to eyeball shit. But yeah, no. Hey guys, listen. Thank you so much for joining us on this
beautiful weather.
Yeah. Hopefully here we'll start to feel better. And I mean, we are feeling a little better, so it's kind of nice. We'll be back with Instagram next week. Now that we're not coughing like all the time, I actually made it through the show without coughing. That's like an hour.
True.
That was impressive. So we'll be back on Monday doing Instagram. We'll be back Monday answering your questions. These were great questions tonight, guys. Thank you so much. These were all good. You guys really picked the topic and ran with it. The whole integration thing. That's nice. So hopefully you guys got some good information out of tonight's show. I'm going to get out of here and go drive in the rain because why not?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. You're not wrong. That's Fang. You're 100%. You're correct. The only tool that is on backup for is Fernando. No, you're right. I don't. And if that tool breaks, I'm going with it. So
Gone.
I'm gone. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend. See you guys. Bye.